only prayed for 3. Not only did he answer those 3, he's going above and beyond. God will give you what you didn't even pray for, but he knows that you want what you're asking, what you're desiring for. So I was like, okay. Have you ever prayed for something and God answered it in such a way that it was exactly what you prayed for, like to the T? Let me tell you how I have been meaning to get the kids a dog, right? They've been begging me for a dog for like ever. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll get you guys a dog. I'm trying to wait for the right time for the kids to be able to bring a dog to the home, show me that they're responsible, because we all know who's responsible for the dog once you buy one. Me, the parent, you know. I remember talking on the phone with my girlfriends, and I was just talking about how expensive dogs are. The thing about it is I wanted to adopt a dog, go to the Humane Society, have us pick up a dog, a rescue, you know, more than enough of them need a home. But my son just don't understand. Like, he was adamant about not having a dog that already has a name because he wanted to name his dog. And I tried to explain it to him like 1,000 times, but he just doesn't get it. I'm like, whatever you call the dog is going to be the dog's name. He's going to respond. But he didn't get it. So all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I just had to accept the fact that I'm just going to purchase a dog, right? We all know that dogs can be pretty expensive depending on the breed, $2,000, $3,000 plus. So I'm on the phone with my girlfriends back in June, and I'm telling them how I gotta, save money for a dog this year, and maybe try to get one try to get one for Christmas, or maybe try to get one next year. So then as I'm having this conversation with them, I'm like, you know what? God has really been impressing upon my heart, ask and you shall receive. Just ask, Daniela. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ask him. So as I'm on the phone with the girls, I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask God. I'm praying and believing that God is going to give me a dog for free. You know what? Not only is it going to be a dog, it's going to be a puppy. I'm praying and believing that God is going to give me a puppy for free, and it's already going to be potty trained. Yep, that's what I'm going to pray for. Fast forward, I went to lunch one day. I went to McDonald's. I got some McDonald's for lunch one day, and I'm pulling back up in my driveway, and I see my neighbor with this cute Labradoodle. Now, just to give you the backstory, my neighbor breeds dogs, but I've never wanted a dog for my neighbor because it's too close for comfort. Like, I don't need you in my business. I don't need you monitoring like how often I am taking my dog out for a walk or not. Just any of that. It was just too close for comfort. And in addition to that, I didn't want a Labradoodle because it's just too many of the same breed on my block. Every time you turn around, somebody's walking a Labradoodle. Fast forward, like I said, I just came from lunch, just got my piping hot French fries from McDonald's and whatever else I got for lunch. I see the dog. It's a golden Labradoodle with like these white spots. And I put down my window. I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute. And she's like, really? Thank you. So then I just went into conversation about how the kids have been asking me for a dog, and how I've been promising that I'm going to get them one eventually. So then she says to me, really? I have two. I have two more. You can have one. For free. You can have, yes, you, but only you, for free. Stop it. So she's like, and then she proceeds to say, he's like 6-7 months old. I'm like, lady, are you giving me a free puppy? Stop it. So this is me. I'm like, is he potty trained? Yes, he's potty trained. Stop it. No way. I pray that God gives me a puppy for free that's already potty trained. So she's like, anytime you're ready, just come on over. I'm like, okay, bet. So I go in my driveway, get my fresh McDonald's, sit it on the table, get ready to dig into my fresh French fries. And I was like, you gonna miss out on your dog for some French fries? Because you know how people be. You be like, because I ain't want her to be like, no, I ain't say that. I wasn't gonna go the next day or 2 days later, and so she can totally forget our conversation. I went next door so fast, like literally next door. Like, we share fence. We share a fence. Like, that's how next door I mean. So anyway, I go next door and she has these two dogs that come running out. So cute. One was golden and the other one was black with white and gray. So it's very exotic looking, right? So then she's like, which one? Pick. I'm like, and I wanted the black one. But I told her, I was like, Josiah wants his dog to be a boy dog. Oh, the black one's a boy dog. Okay, bet. So then I'm telling her the story about how I wanted to go and adopt a dog, but Josiah was very adamant about his dog not already having a name and being able to name the dog. So I was like, oh, so what's the dog's name? She's like, oh, no, we never named him. We just call him Black. I'm like, I only prayed for 3. Not only did he answer those 3, he's going above and beyond. God will give you what you didn't even pray for, but he knows that you want what you're asking, what you're desiring for. So I was like, okay. So then I said to her, is it possible that you can keep the dog until Christmas? Which was like 4 to 5 weeks away, because it's like the end of November. And she's like, oh, you want to surprise the kids? I'm like, yeah. She's like, no problem. Stop it! Right? So when the kids got home that evening, right, after school, I told them, guys, we're going to get a dog because I need to prepare for bringing a dog into the house. So a crate and just everything else that I'm going to need. And I didn't want them to all of a sudden think like, what's going on? We're going to get a dog. So I told them that we're getting a dog for Valentine's Day, which isn't far-fetched because I bought them a bunny for Valentine's Day 2023 that same year. And that is for a different story, because when I tell you, your girl is so impulsive when I tell you. so they're like, yeah. So then they're talking about what kind of dog that they want and what sex the dog is going to be. So then now he's like, he doesn't care if it's a boy or a girl, even though before he wanted a boy. He doesn't care and all this other stuff. So that night when it was time to go to sleep, let me tell you guys, stick a minute for 1 second. Josiah's wanted a dog so badly that we got a stuffed golden retriever from IKEA. He sleeps with it. He barks. He pretends it's a real dog. He said 1,000 times, oh, I can't wait till, we get a real dog. So, okay. The retriever's in the bed with him as he's going to bed. And so I say to him, Josiah, what color dog do you want? Because we've never discussed that ever. And I'm thinking he's going to say gold, like Rocco in the bed with him. I said, what kind of dog do you want? He said, a black and white one. Did you hear me? I was like, Lord, you are blowing my mind. When I tell you, God came through exactly how I asked, and he went above and beyond. You can't tell me that the Lord ain't in the business of answering prayers. You can't tell me that if you ask, you won't receive. You can't tell me that if you ask, God ain't gonna come through. You can't nobody tell me that God ain't answering prayers. Nobody.